So in answering this guy's question, and it was a very serious question by this viewer, I came up with, and it surprised me, there were 5 key things that I feel that have helped me the most. I've tried and done many things here, and I obviously don't always get it right, absolutely not. But the 5 things that seem to really work well. So this viewer had asked us a really good question. I had offhand mentioned I had surrounded myself with these concentric circles of protection and that all around me in my retirement, my very happy and pleasant and peaceful retirement here, which has been great. And again, kind of went from the depths of hell to this, and the whole journey was about 6 years. And pretty diligent work in that 6 years, I'm sorry to tell you, but a little more effort than just sitting at the pub all day, as my friends here would say. Sorry, but this is true. Anyhow, so we will, with all that, and pardon the wind, but it's a breezy, crazy day today, and we're going to jump right into the 5 things that have helped me the most here in Thailand. That's a lot of guys. Some guys want to retire early at 50. That's a little young, but some guys want to at 60, which is still early, which is great. It's maybe more a better age. And then, 65, 67, 70, that's getting up there. You might want to get focusing on that if you're getting to that age before you can retire. But then, like I said before, half my friends are dead. Half my close lifelong friends are dead already. I'm 62. And I retired forcibly at 57. And again, I was very upset I was being forced to retire because I was a planner and a serious guy like most engineers tend to be. Between the investments and then the pension not maturing and, lovely. And, but being, I was 5 times wealthier on the prior exchange rate. Now I'd say I'm 4. So I do watch my spending a little more. For a while there, I was getting almost 6 times wealthier. When the exchange rate went up to 38 baht to the dollar, I was like in Liberace mode or something, hey, look at that. I'll buy it. You just having my fun, because it's my intention every month to spend my pension to 0, because there is no further future I'm saving for. I'm not going to be more robust and more able to enjoy it next year. That's why I push the motorcycle so hard, because maybe in 3 years I won't be able to do anything. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. So, right. Anyway, but with all those levels of retirement, and a lot of guys can't do it. Once you just have just a normal, kind of what I used to call kind of like a wealthy blue collar guy level retirement, guy gets in a decent union and just saves his money reasonably well and this and that. And, maybe picks up a county pension or Social Security on top of that. And, nothing like, I'm not talking like collecting Lamborghinis for a hobby, just a nice, decent, reasonable retirement. And if you have that, and there's a lot of people that don't have that, or I think can't have that anymore. And there's your new haters. A percentage of them will be your new haters. My estimate, over 50%. And I still don't understand that, because that's just something, I guess I have lots of faults. We could do many videos on all of Rob's faults, but being envious of other people, jealousy, blind jealousy and such, that I just don't seem to have that gene. I've always said, hey man, good for you, go do you, because I always wanted to go do mine, but apparently that's not most people. So I'm kind of blind on the whole jealousy thing. Anyway, so you're going to pick up that. Let's shift gears a little bit, and let's take a look at my how I do it here. So I'm hoping that you can do this before you're having had the fun and the enjoyment and the relaxation and de-stressing of being 62 and have already been retired a few years. I hope you retire before 60, because I'm starting to think that maybe in your late 50s is kind of a good time to retire, because my health's been kind of on the poor side, but if you've got really good health, gee whiz, you could be out there, doing your dream senior hockey league stuff or whatever the heck you're into, if you're a big bike rider or whatever, you could Ironman, maybe is there a senior Ironman? There probably is, whatever that is, something, chasing girls, pick up a hobby. I don't know. Anyway, so in answering this guy's question, and it was a very serious question, by this viewer, I came up with, and it surprised me, there were 5 key things that I feel that have helped me the most. I've tried and done many things here, and I obviously don't always get it right, absolutely not. But the 5 things that seem to really work well. And my first rule, and this is an older rule of mine, this came up with the first wave of haters in the days of patenting and being an inventor in my right around maybe my late 40s, maybe age 50, somewhere right in there, it began to kind of click that I needed to be very careful and deal in reality. And by that, I mean, I don't believe necessarily what someone tells me. I believe more of what they're showing me. And I don't believe so much in what I'm hoping something might be. I believe in dealing more with what I can reasonably assess it probably will become or what it actually is in the moment. Like I'm real careful, and I've honed that skill, and that worked well for me immediately. Obviously, that's a good one, and I rely on that now. So I'm very careful to deal just in reality. So when I was dating and a woman had, the bar girl telltales, you can look at any of my red flag videos, look at my dating playlist on the channel. If a woman had any of those things, they were quickly out of my dating prospects. Once I was, they showed up at the second date in a halter top and something super sexy and everything, and they were talking about plastic surgery. Really, second date talking about that isn't even a date, and I'm going to do a video on that. But I've done a lot of warning content lately, and I don't want it to be all negative because I'm happy, and my friends here, man, we're all happy. And again, the 2 worlds of Thailand, we're all in this happy spot. And then if you go on the expat groups and the social media platforms and just open your eyes and look around, the other guys you see here in Thailand, the other Westerners, man, there's a lot of really unhappy people, or a lot of people that to me, in my assessment, are doing very engaged in very desperate attempts to try to make themselves think they're happy. That's what I feel I'm seeing. At 62, same for you. When I look at a situation now, I see 3 or 4 levels beyond what I used to see when I was 30 or 40. You kind of have like X-ray vision, or you can kind of take a look at something and you can project it into the future, into your mind, and go, that's not going to end well. But you've got guys that apparently haven't gotten that far yet. So, dealing in reality. So I'm real careful doing the Missouri show me state stuff. You got to show me first, and you're going to drag me out of that reality like a 70-ton tank or something. I'm not going to move very easily off of that opinion once I form an opinion. So that's rule 1. Real careful about that. That I take dead seriously. Rule number 2. I don't listen to any negativity, and that includes my own. We all have the tendency, or at times there can be some negative thoughts. Oh gosh, maybe I'm not, like with speaking Thai, I'll occasionally get a real hateful. I had one, I should have saved it. I don't like to post too many of those comments because it's kind of making fun of the guy. And even though they were very venomous and very mean-spirited and intending to harm with their comment, I still hate to out them and make them look bad like that. Just I'll leave them to their own little life there. But this guy said that, my Thai was so bad it was painful for him to listen to. And of course, he's still watching my videos, which is odd. And it kind of like hurt for a minute there, like, geez, because you get that sort of that imposter complex, if unless you've like totally mastered something, unless you're the grand best playing piano guy in the world or something, you think, geez, you suck at playing the piano, And I'm not saying my Thai's that good. My Thai's going to always be a little bad. I haven't said this before, but just I have enough hearing damage. I cannot hear a lot of the Thai tones. I've memorized how I move my mouth to make the tone, but I can't really hear it. And the upper class, they have low, mid, and upper class consonants in the Thai language, and in the tones on the high class characters in their alphabet, I really struggle to hear those properly. I'm 5.5 years in, and I'm just starting to get a handle on it, and I really can't hear it, but I'm getting better at just repeating like a parrot, making a certain tone. So I got to pronounce either an S or an L or an N or an M or a ngongu, a ng. They have a ng consonant. Great, thank you. and I have to do that with two alternate tones. The core default tone on those I can do easily, but the two modified tones, and there's a special modified one that uses a plus sound, and it's like, you got to be freaking kidding me. I mean, it's hard, and then when someone so why would that matter? So you'll get Thai people saying, well, who needs? I had one woman in Thai say the translation of who needs a foreigner that can speak, because she was a professional scammer, and she was chewing out Fawn for allowing me to speak, and I didn't say anything because taking this woman and flinging her across the room, which is what I wanted to do, wasn't going to help. So I just stayed quiet. I think she underestimated how much I spoke already, obviously. And then Fawn basically said, what do you want me to do? He's big and he has his own money and he speaks already. And the woman was like, oh, well, okay, By the way, he understands what you're saying and you're pissing him off. Is that furniture expensive? Yeah, and so that kind of hurts. And then that guy's comment. And so my point is, you get these Thai scammer ladies, they'll hate the fact that you speak Thai, which is a good miner's canary thing for you, or litmus test. And then you'll get other Westerners putting you down. Oh, you speak Thai. Oh, you're kissing their butt, Rob, are you? I've had guys, there's a guy who keeps threatening to fight a friend of mine. We're in the second grade playground somewhere. The idiots. He's a severe drug user and severe alcoholic. I mean, I pity the guy, but he probably has 30 drinks a day every day, maybe more. I'm not kidding. He made a really mean social media comment somewhere, and it was, oh, that Rob guy. He's he likes the Thai people too much. He's always being so overly nice to them. He used much more colorful phraseology, but you get the idea of what he was saying. And so you'll get that. But none of that bothers me, because I'm here living my happy life, and and it doesn't matter how good I can speak or not. I mean, I can communicate. I can order food. I can say this, that, the other thing. I can communicate my desires and needs. I mean, yesterday I was with Thai people speaking Thai all day, just like every day. I made a couple jokes. They were doing deep Thai and Thai Korat, which I only speak a teeny tiny bit. I really don't speak Thai Korat, but I recognize it when it's being spoken. And I knew they were upset, but mostly laughing at an event we were at recently. I won't say what, and I got the gist of what they were saying. But I didn't know the exact nugget of what started it. And then Fawn later, she goes, I'll tell you later. And I'm like, I'm only so curious. And I got that later. So I take in no negativity. And I would advise you do the same. Make your plans, do your diligent efforts. But you're retired. If you're trying to work out and you only go to the gym, or you only have a home workout thing you do maybe twice a week, and that's all you feel like, hey, great. Think about finding a local pool if you like swimming, or learn to like swimming. I used to hate swimming. Now I love it. So you can make yourself like and change anything you want. Good time. I did that deliberately to make a new Rob. I always hated swimming. I was a decent swimmer, not great, but decent. And I always hated being in the water. And I'm like, you know what? That'd be a good. I should just make and now I love it. So what can I tell you? You're in charge of your own mind and your own life. So, and then take a morning walk or take an evening walk and do it with your cute little Thai girlfriend. Or use that as your time to go find a cute little Thai girlfriend. Actually, the morning is the time to find a cute little Thai girlfriend. The ladies that are out in the evening, not the good ones. So there's that one. And then number 3, my third rule, and again, I was kind of surprised. I didn't realize I was following these rules, but it really was. I thought it was going to be 3, then it ended up being 5, and I really follow these. And number 3 is, I believe people when they tell me who they are. When they show me or tell me, either one, doesn't matter. Whichever one they do first, I believe them. So if they start, showing me that they're a jealous or hateful person, or an angry person, or a severely, I'm a little bit diligent in my retirement. I mean, I spent basically all day yesterday watching TV and relaxing in the morning until I went and did my pretty significant workout. And I was a little late. I didn't do any Thai homework yesterday either. And I told Usani yesterday, I go to class at 2:00, and I'm like, yeah. I got to be honest, I did none of the homework. I was tired. I was lazy, and everybody laughed because I'm usually pretty diligent, but I just wasn't feeling it, But if someone's super lazy, then it may not be any kind of good friendship fit for me because a guy that's just going to want to lay around and maybe end up just smoking or drinking all day or just watching cartoons all day or something mind-numbing. I'm not interested in mind-numbing things. I watch more documentaries and although I do watch the silly stuff too, but mostly I pick movies by the director. I'm a director guy. My son taught me. That's not me. My son taught me that. My son's twice as smart as I am, and he's into all that stuff. And once he explains stuff to me a couple of times, I'm like, ooh, that is interesting. And then so now I love it. I would have never done that ever without him. I also like all the Stallone movies. I don't know. There's just something about them that's entertaining. I don't know quite what it is. And sometimes some people are kind of a little sneaky kind of a thing, and then you realize, hey, this person's kind of a user. They're always saying, hey, Rob, would you? Hey, Rob, don't and I just found that out one guy. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I'm not your secretary, Okay, so here's my fourth rule. This one's a bit different, but this one's really served me well. I stay within my pay grade for all social situations, everything with Fawn's family. I've got to read this or I'll get it wrong. Casual Thai socializing, my close Thai and my close Western friends, all of it, I stay within my pay grade. There are 72,000 different levels of friendship and love and affection between people, and so I don't push myself or push those boundaries in anything. I've got a couple friends that own a nice restaurant here in town. I won't say. And you know what? There's limits to what I say or don't say. I don't want to be like, hey, ha, 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 and be those obnoxious people, I keep it light and hey, man, and I like them. They're very nice people, but they're also very busy and have limited time to be engaging and socializing. I go there, I'll patronize their restaurant maybe once or twice a month. It's very nice food. And it's very healthy. It's all organic, natural cooked. And the wife's an amazing cook. So, it's a great, if I want a healthy meal, that's my best option in the city of Korat. Anyways, and I'll go there and have a little conversation and I'll kind of let them, they know me and I think they consider me a friend as well and not just a customer, but that's up to them. But I'll kind of hang back and let them, when there isn't a lot of other customers, they're not as busy or they're not as tired from working all the time when I'm not. And then when they want to engage, I'm like, hey, we'll do a little late engagement, but I'm not pushing my pay grade on that. And within Fawn's family, am I considered family? Yes, I believe that I am. I know that I am. And I hate to say that on the channel because so many Westerners have this false sense, oh, I know I'm family, and the woman's laughing at them. I can't tell you, it really made me sad in my stomach. This one guy a few years back said that, well, I really like having dinner with the family and all that and all this stuff. And I was like, if you could have been there when we were at the other part of the city and your wife was talking and I overheard her with another lady and they were, the stuff they were saying about you. Yeah. I really felt bad about that. That really made my stomach turn a little bit. I got to be honest. And so that's a common thing for Western guys is to have this false sense that I'm included. I know I'm included. Because I make no effort, I don't do anything. They lose face every time I'm out in public with them, and I just give them money only. Yeah, they love me. Okay. Anyway, so enough about that, but I'm careful. But in my case, yeah, because I know what they're saying about me, and I know how they act towards me. I know within the culture what they should or shouldn't be doing, and it's all the way it should be. And if a Thai person around here in my life is offered or trying to give me some kind of problem, boy, do they run to my defense, which is sweet. Not that I need it, but it's sweet. So I'm just careful with all that. I stay within my pay grade. I don't push my nose where it doesn't belong. I've recently had an opportunity to learn more about the sex schools and how that works, and I decided not to because I know enough to warn you guys about that already. I don't want to take the risk to my physical safety of investigating or asking too much about that anymore. It's kind of tempting, but I've already made my hard decision. I won't change it. I'm not going to do that, is what it is. Those schools are more widespread than I thought. And the training available for Thai women to get money from a foreign man, husband, boyfriend, that's more widespread than I thought. That kind of came out in a few conversations recently. I was surprised. I think Fawn was even a little surprised at some of that. I mean, she's been seeing more of this because through the channel she watches these videos and she gets interested and she can dig a lot better than I can. And she has 1,000 more contacts than I do. Though I have a couple she doesn't. And She's been surprised at some, because she's just an honest and good, sweet, legit person. Why would she know about this? She wouldn't. Anyway, so that's the fourth rule. I really am careful to stay within my pay grade. I always think back to my mentor, Dick, when I was making the big Home Depot presentation with his partner, Bob, and Bob and I were working on it. We go into Dick's office, we sit in front of his big desk, and we put this little personal, hey, it's us, here we are, a little bit about us kind of stuff in the presentation, and I've said this before, but it bears repeating. He goes, guys, they just won't care. They're only going to care about how they make money. If you need to leave that personal stuff in the presentation, it's okay. You can leave it. But no one but you two, is going to care. And Bob and I were like, kind of hurts, but it's true. And I think of that. Is someone going to, so I filter sometimes before I speak, if I can remember. And are they going to care that I say, oh, wow, my back is feeling better today? Or, I rode my motorcycle today. Boy, it was fun. If they're not going to really care about that, why am I saying that? Am I one of those guys flapping my gums, running around all day, just talking about myself and annoying people with my conversation, and then they're just going to wait to say what they want to say, and we're going to be two of those idiots that just wait to take their turn talking about ourselves? Because I hate those kind of conversations. Those are that's not a real conversation. A real conversation is I care about you, and I ask how you're doing, and I ask what you think about something. That's a conversation. That's, to me, not a real life, if I go beyond that, if you see what I'm saying. So, and you stay out of trouble, too. You end up avoiding a lot of not worthwhile people with that. So this has made me happy. And then the last one, my fifth and final rule on what I do, of how I'm so darn happy over here, and this has worked, and I'll back up on that in a minute. I stay within my financial means minus about 25%. Everything I do, I live month by month, because again, every month my goal is to kind of spend my budget down to zero, because if I got a little left over, I'm like, hey, fun, let's go to dinner. Let's go. There's a place that's fantastic steak in town. I love to go there and have a steak. And I say, let's go. I know she likes the food there too, and it's a pretty view. There's always a spot by the window where we can sit, and you can see the sunset. It's really nice. And we'll do that, and or go to a really nice cafe on a Saturday or like a Sunday when she's not working, and it gives her a break from caring for her boys so much. And under the Thai culture, she can take a couple of selfies and show those to her friends or put it on her social media. And within reason, that's part of their culture. Okay, but within reason. If it's with sexy clothing and you're not in the picture, you might want to rethink that one. But staying within my finances, I'm careful about that, and I deduct 25% of what I really could be spending. I'm not spending right to the limit. I'm just at that sustainable level, and I'm real careful about that. And I just have no financial worries. Financially, I'm kind of down this year. I'll be honest. I'll tell you that. I've made my budget as a smaller budget, but I've also paid for all my big ticket stuff. I got the house, and I have transportation and a place to live already, and my back has been done already, so I have a life, and I have basic things I need, the big ticket items. So now it's just week by week, doing my workouts, taking a walk with Fawn, seeing a friend for a coffee once in a rare while. Mostly I'm kind of a loner. See a couple Thai friends here and there, but again, too much Thai. Like, if I'm with 3, 4, 5 guys and we're all chatting, after 2 hours, my brain is just fried. That is really hard work. There's a small minority of Thai phrases and things. I think in Thai, and I'll answer in Thai, and it's the same as English. It's totally natural. It's nothing. Most of the time, I have to think it in English, think how that's going to work in a sentence structure, and say it back in Thai. It's some amount of effort. Speaking isn't as bad, though. It's the listening, because Thai doesn't have one sentence structure. They have 100 speech patterns or something, and I know 20 or 30 of them or something. And you got to recognize a speech pattern of what's being said. And there's, it's they could not make the language much more difficult to understand, in my opinion. If you said, Rob, we got to make time more difficult, I'd be, dude, I got no ideas. They've already done it so crazy already. They got 3 classes, a consonant. They got 75 characters in their alphabet. There's a whole bunch of tone marks, and the tone marks all act the same tone marks, and they act different on different classes of consonant. Are you freaking kidding me? And then many characters flip. They transfer. If you put an S at the end of a word, it's a T. If you put a T or a D, depending. And the T and the D flips back and forth, and the G and the K flip back and forth. The R and the N and the L all flip around all the time, and you got to know all the rules. I mean, I hate to even say that. I don't want to discourage you but it's true, and my brain is like, It's like someone just asked me to bench press 400 pounds. Well, I'm going to die. I can't do that. I never could do that. Not on my best day, I couldn't bench 400. So anyway, so those are my 5 rules, and this has made me really happy, and it's been good because if to any newer people watching this, I mean, super short recap. I mean, at age 57, I got divorced, forced retired, and was facing a multi-year series of really big, really like some of the worst spinal surgeries you can have, because my break was at a really bad spot. My break was at a spot that normally doesn't break. It's almost always the joint above it that breaks, and that's much more fixable. My break was at the foundation, at the very basement of your spine, and that's what holds literally everything up, and that one's not supposed to break. It's a really big bone that God made that way, so it wouldn't break, because if it breaks, you're effed. Well, that was mine. And mine was broken for a really long time, so the arthritis was, let me check, everywhere at 57. And I was working out so much, I didn't realize it. And then there was something happened in 2020 where all the gyms shut down. I can't say what, or I'll get demonetized or thrown off of YouTube. And then when that happened, I couldn't do my rehab anymore for a while. And then all of a sudden, everything went downhill for old Rob. And there I was. Before that, I was working out, I was making money, I had my wife, I was doing everything was great. And all of a sudden, what the hell happened? Everything was like a fire sale in Rob's life or something. So, and I got a little depressed for a while. I got to be honest. My son was talking about that. He goes, "Dad, this is not good, And I'm like, I know. And, it was really rough. But now this is I'd say as happy as I've been. I couldn't tell you. It's been probably decades. Isn't that sad? But it's decades since I was this happy, this relaxed, this at ease. I've married Fawn, who is a really good traditional Thai Isan or Thai Korat. I could also say woman. That's my favorite culture of the Thai people. And I did some research before I got here, and that was more of a lucky guess. It was an educated guess, but a lucky guess that I got that, quote right. There are other areas, sure, the people are really great, but generally, if you go to different places, there's different motivations and stuff. And this is just sort of their heartland and the heart of their culture. And I just find, to me, it's just easy to find the really nice, good, caring Thai people in the province of Korat. Which is huge. I think it might be the biggest province in the country, but the Korat people are just really nice. And to me, it's just kind of cool, kind of badass. I knew when I was when I was back in the States planning my retirement, looking at Thailand, Vietnam, and Vietnam, the Philippines had fallen off, other places had fallen off pretty quick. It kind of came down to just Thailand and Vietnam, and I was going back and forth on which one. I'm glad I picked here, I think. Vietnam is 20% cheaper, but I can afford to live here, and it's fine, and I do prefer it here. The language is better, and I think the people are definitely a little bit friendlier. The Vietnamese people are pretty nice. I got to be honest, they're pretty nice, but they're a little they can be pushier, and they can be more potentially prone to like something physical or violent. Or the Thai people, man, when I see those videos of a guy getting beat up, I know he did something really, really, really wrong and kept doing it, because it's hard to goad them into something like that. You earned it, sir. So they're very nice people, and I really like the peace here. And the natural beauty. Vietnam's pretty. It's a very pretty country, definitely prettier than my home state of Michigan. But Thailand's probably a little prettier than Vietnam. Laos, it'd be the prettiest of maybe every country in the world. I don't know. Laos is stunning, but it doesn't have any of the infrastructure that Thailand or Vietnam has. Vietnam and Thailand both have good infrastructure. Laos, man, you're going to be on your own a lot. If you have an accident or an emergency in Laos, you have a real problem, my friend. So it's good for young adventure people that are made of rubber and magic. It's not so much good for us old brittle guys. Anyways, so this has been really good. I've stuck with these rules, And I think this is what helped me navigate from a place where I was very unhappy at 57 and prior to being 57. At 57, it took a precipitous drop to the pits of hell, I think, is what we could call that. And then now I'm like on easy street. You know, everything is just so easy and pleasant and breezy and light. And I just don't push anything. You know, my motorcycle, basically 3 weeks to fix it. I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. I said, plenty. You know, well, I got lawn. You know, I said that's fine for me because the weather's hot, and I take a break. And now the little cool systems come through, and my bike will probably be done next week. Perfect timing. Just wait it out. Oh, I got my 5th shelf up in my library. I put some couple things up there, but I have room to buy more books now, which will be nice. So that's probably the last shelf I'll put up. Anything taller than that, even with a step stool, I can't reach it. So probably will stop there, but who knows? And I don't know. I think we're good, right? Thanks, everyone. I hope you can find this for yourself, because this has worked great for me. Oh, another gorgeous day. You know, sunrise is kind of prettier in real life. The iPhone doesn't quite pick it up, but although that's pretty good on the screen, but it's even prettier here. Oh, and you can see the moon. Yep. See, the moon's just a blur. Where I see it real sharp here, actually. I like that. Electrical tower reminds me of the cover of a Typo Negative album that I like. A bit of a Peter Steele fan. Beautiful day. It's, what the heck? Oh, it's Tuesday. My day off. Because on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I go to the city and do all my stuff. So yesterday was Monday, since today's Tuesday. And man, I was wiped out last night. I mean, Fawn was joking with me, and I was like, okay, that's cool. You want to joke, and that's great. But man, I'm just gonna sit down on the couch. Wow. Yeah, I did my usual stuff. My motorcycle's still in the shop, but the head gasket replacement. They were upfront about it. It'll be 3 weeks because I got a long queue, but it's fine. But I miss riding the bike. I really do. That thing is so darn fun. But anyways, I did all that. Came home. I had like 20 minutes to lay down and rest. Showered, changed again, and then her mom and her one aunt needed to go to see the eye doctor, and Fawn wanted to go as well. I knew Fawn's problem was she wasn't wearing her glasses while working on her computer 8 hours a day, but I figured it'd be better to have a doctor tell her that, so we waited and the doctor told her that, which was fine. Then we joked about it. I didn't want to annoy Jai, the mom, Tom High annoy Jai. I didn't want to neglect her. You know, her parents are so good to me, so I drove them all in my nice new car, and then did that, and then, you know, offered to. They ended up, they bought their own dinner. I bought them some snacks and stuff and like that, but that was really not much. But, you know, I wanted to do good for them, you know what I mean? Anyway, so, but gorgeous day. I got to think, I've got, I think 2 different pieces of content I got to think about, and then I'll record one of those today. I made a couple of videos the week before, bought me some time. I just kind of was tired, and now I'm back in the mood to make YouTube content. So we'll figure it out. So here's a little mini slideshow. This is, I thought this was a really pretty picture I snapped cruising through a small village right near my home. And there's shelf number 5 of the library. I'm so happy. And here's just an impossibly cute picture of Fawn that came up on my home screen. And here's an early dating picture with Fawn. Look at that beauty. This is Rob. Video's over. I'm closing my gate. But if you've been liking or subscribing, or and praise God if you've been a member of the channel, I really appreciate you. I appreciate everyone that watches. You have a great day.